Okay, first grade, we're going to do history lesson 22. This is a story about Robert the Bruce called Bruce and the Spider. Let's take a look at our names, places, and vocabulary. The names are Robert Bruce. He was the King of Scotland. Scotland is what some people like to say, Scotland. I don't know if that's Scottish. And then Scotchmen were men from Scotland. The places will be, or we'll hear in the story rather, are England and Scotland. If we take a look at a map, on this map you'll see all the blue area is England. To the north, this is Scotland. And here to the west, this is Ireland, and the yellow down here is Wales. So England and Scotland are our two places today that we'll hear in our story, okay? All right, now today's story is about how a spider taught a king a valuable lesson. All right. Robert Bruce, by the way, was born in 1274. So, long time ago. All right, here we go. Robert Bruce and the Spider. And here we go. There was once a king of Scotland whose name was Robert Bruce. He had need to be both brave and wise, for the times in which he lived were wild and rude. The King of England was at war with him and had led a great army into Scotland to drive him out of the land. Battle after battle had been fought. 6 times had Bruce led his brave little army against his foes, and 6 times had his army been beaten and driven into flight. At last, his army was scattered, and he was forced to hide himself in the woods and in lonely places among the mountains. One rainy day, Bruce lay on the ground under a rude shed, listening to the patter of the drops on the roof above him. He was tired and sick at heart, and ready to give up all hope. It seemed to him there was no use for him to try to do anything more. And as he lay thinking, he saw a spider over his head, making ready to weave her web. He watched her as she toiled slowly and with great care. 6 times she tried to throw her frail thread from one beam to another, and 6 times it fell short. Poor thing, said Bruce, you too know what it is to fail. But the spider did not lose hope with the 6th failure. With still more care, she made ready to try for the 7th time. Bruce almost forgot his own troubles as he watched her swing herself out upon the slender line. Would she fail again? No. The thread was carried safely to the beam and fastened there. I, too, will try a 7th time, cried Bruce. He arose and called his men together. He told them of his plans and sent them out with messages of cheer to the disheartened men and people. Soon there was an army of brave Scotchmen around him. Another battle was fought, and the King of England was glad to go back to his own country. I have heard it said that after that day, no one by the name of Bruce would ever hurt a spider. The lesson which the little creature had taught the king was never forgotten. All right, so that was Robert the Bruce and his story. Here's your prompt so you can do your narration. There was once a king of Scotland whose name was Robert Bruce. If you'd like to pause and do your narration, go ahead and do that now, and then you can come back. All right, I have a couple of other pictures I was going to show you and ask you and tell you and talk about some reflection and application questions. What lesson did Robert Bruce learn from the spider? Yeah, that's right. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. You have to keep trying. If you fail, you do it again. If you fail, you do it again. Did the spider ever give up? No. And guess what? If that spider would have messed up on number 7, guess what she would have done? Number 8, number 9, until she succeeded. That's what Robert Bruce learned, and that's kind of what we can learn from the spider too. We can't give up, even when it's hard. Don't give up. Now, why did watching the spider give Robert the Bruce hope? That's right, because she stuck to it, she succeeded. She kind of won. She got a web. And Robert Bruce thought, if I keep doing it, we'll succeed. We can win. And they did. Now, I wanted to show you, these are a couple of pictures. This one up here, you see little number 1, this guy on this horse, his name was William Wallace. He was called the Guardian of Scotland. William Wallace. There's a famous movie out that had an actor named Mel Gibson in it. And he guarded and tried to beat the British back in about 1300 until Robert the Bruce became the King of Scotland. He became the king in 1306. And then he battled the British also for a long time, chasing them back for at least 10 years. Okay, so those are kind of some fun pictures. Here's another picture called, let me get it up here for you. This was done by John Phillips. It's called Robert the Bruce on the Eve of Bannockburn. They believe the battle was called the Battle of Bannockburn. And here he's being blessed before he goes out to the battle. This was painted by a man named John Phillips. John Phillips lived from 1817 to 1857. And you can see there, they're asking God's blessing on their work. Or I guess on their fight, on their battle. Okay, so that was the lesson, Robert the Bruce, Bruce and the Spider. See you later.